welcome back to my channel for another video. Today we're doing a journal with me. I feel like it's been forever since I just actually like sat down with you guys and did some journaling. I don't think I've done so yet this year, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do today or how long this is gonna be. I had a song stuck in my head this morning and a particular like line, which isn't a song I usually listen to, which is always strange. So I do want to put that in my journal, and I opened my drawer with my bin of die cuts in it. So this bin here, and this was in here, and this flower caught my eye. These are from Bree over at Documented Journey. You can't get the die cuts anymore, but she does have this design, or she at least used to, in a vinyl sticker. So I'll leave her linked below in case you'd like to check that out. She does some awesome like nature drawings. But I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to use with the lyric that I was going for. And then I have this vision to put a certain shade of blue around it. And in January, I had this bin of all of my distress crayons and my media sticks and my Neocolor 2s and stuff on my desk to kind of use so that I would reach for them. And I definitely did. It worked. And I'm just feeling like it's time for a change. So I'm going to put these back in my drawer. And I'm going to instead put out these. This is the 238 colors to try Daniel Smith dot color cards. So it's literally a sample of watercolor of all of their sheets, and I had cut them down, but I've been wanting to expand my watercolor collection for a long time, but of course I can't do that if I don't know what colors I want, which is why I bought this, but I swatched them all and then never did anything. So I figured if I put this out on my desk, hopefully use the colors, I can decide better like which ones I like. Like I can be like, oh yeah, that was great, let's definitely put more of that in here, and not so much. So that's kind of what we're working with today. I should probably get my water. So yeah, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Well, let's do it on this page since we already started this page. I already have these like pieces of paper and the cherries glued there, but I don't know if that's something I want to stay there or not. How easy is, yeah, that's gonna rip all the paper. So we'll glue that back down. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Having a good time so far this year. I know things are still crazy, but all we can do is move forward, right? So I'm just gonna stick this here and go from there. I'm gonna look up the lyrics real quick to make sure I actually know what it says. Now I have to decide how I want to write that. My first instinct is to always grab my paint pen and just do it with that. And that would definitely not reactivate with water. But I'm thinking maybe colored pencil instead. Because I'm feeling like I want it to be very scratchy. And of course we don't want a watercolor one. Yeah, let's use the black. So this is from a Eric Church song called Hell of a View. And I don't even have it on my, like, extensive playlist. So, like I said, I'm not sure why it's stuck in my head, but alright, yeah. I can paint and write. I can paint and talk at the same time, but I cannot write and talk at the same time. I don't know why. I can sing and read at the same time, which is weird. But anyway, as I was saying, usually when I get a song stuck in my head like that, even if I don't know why, it usually tends to mean something, and I kind of figure it out later. I know that may be a little too woo-woo for some of you, but that's my own personal thing. So yeah, I want to put it in here. Okay, so I had envisioned kind of a very like baby blue sparkly color, which I know I have in a handmade poured water, handmade watercolor pan, but I'm trying to use these. So I think this duochrome blue might be the closest, or the duochrome blue pearl. Well, I guess we'll try that. The duochrome cabo blue. I have to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. My allergies have been just like insane lately. I think it's just all the dry air from the furnace being on so much. Because it's been in the single digits here lately for the past couple weeks. So, yeah. And like I said, I did use regular watercolor pencil, so hopefully this shouldn't really bleed much. It shouldn't bleed at all, the pencil. Not much at all. It is kind of hard to get it off these cards, I do have to say. I could color this image, but I don't know, I just felt like coloring around it instead. And then some up here. I don't know if I'm really seeing that chrome effect that you're supposed to. Maybe I will after it dries. Or it's just because my face isn't close to it. Because you don't need to see my noggin in the whole thing. It seems pretty. Although I think it's just, yeah, it's just iridescent. I want like a blue to kind of drop in, I think. Maybe some of this manganese blue hue. I'm sure that I'm saying none of those things correctly. It's just seems like the blue from the printer, cyan. Printer vibes. All right. And then I don't know, it just needs some splatters, and I'm feeling like this is the color it needs to be splattered with, so maybe I'll regret that later, but that was my first instinct, so we went with it. Alright, gotta make sure I don't put those on top of each other, because we don't want them to dry together. Alright. Random and kind of ugly so far, but I'm sure I can pull it together. That was really the only thing I had planned, so I guess we shall grab some of these down here. These my lovely friend Vicky from Crafting Vicky sent to me. I will also leave her linked down below. She's part of our Take 5 group as well. But she sent me these, and I've seen other people use these a lot, but I never really picked one up because I wasn't a fan of the designs, but these are they're right up my alley. So I think they're washi strips. They look like page flags, but I think they're washi strips. Yes, they are. That is so cool. So I'm just gonna stick one down here because why not? So thank you, Vicky, for sending those to me. Love them so much. I think this one might look good here once this dries. As like a nod to the hell of a view thing. Because I mean, hello. And then maybe this can go on the cherries. And kind of tie the page all together a little bit better. Yeah. And I think I'm going to take some pencil and do some doodling to kind of divide this section up there. Again, once this all dries. So let's stick this on. These are so cool. And then a little extra glue to stick that down. Okay, that's all dry. I'm not sure I'm going to put this here just yet, so I'm going to just work with my pencil first. One thing I love about watercolor is all the janky edges you get. And I can see a little more shimmer now that it's dry, which is cool. It's kind of ended up looking a little cloudy, which is also very cool. Alright. Those are kind of all the lines I'm seeing right off the bat. Yep, don't like that I did that, but oh well. I think that's good for that page for now. I would kind of like to come back in and darken up these lines, but I can do that another time so you don't have to watch me do all of that. So what else can we do today? I'm going to give you a little flip of where this journal is so far, so you guys can see that, and just talk a little bit about how it's been going for me. Since this is like a new experiment, it might be nice to update you guys. So, if you haven't been following me for very long, or this is your first video, I usually do a creative journal. So I combine like smash booking with scrapbooking and art journaling, and kind of throw it all together. And I usually use a mixed paper insert that I make myself out of like scrapbook paper and Midori MD paper, Tomorrow paper, papers that are like watercolor friendly, and like various other sound papers. But this year I decided to use this mixed media book by Ranger. It's the Dina Wakley Media Journal. I'll kind of leave my 2021 setup planners and journals so that you can hear the reasoning why. But yeah, it's been going pretty well so far. I've been gradually collaging things in the front. I really like how this first page turned out. I built on this throughout the month of January. I started out with this kind of little love note to my journal and then just added things as I went along. You'll see as we go through, I still have writing bits to do. That's just how my journal is, but I did do several patches of writing, which is an improvement from last year. So pretty proud of myself about that. Again, some of these pages are still works in progress. I don't technically do things chronologically. I just kind of group everything that happened in January together in one section, and that's good enough for me. I don't really need to know like what happened on which day. I have that in my bullet journal, so this is more just for fun and to look back on. So lots of little things here. This was my first burlap page. I just stapled the tag on and did some other things. On this side, I ended up gluing stuff on, so I glued this piece of magazine and made like a collage out of my scrap bin, which was pretty fun. The burlap pages are okay. I don't mind stapling things to them and gluing things on them. I think they're pretty fun, so that wasn't too much of a challenge. One challenge that I am having is if you have known me for any length of time, you know I'm obsessed with tip-ins, and none of the papers in here, even the watercolor paper, really work well with tip-ins. They always want to pull off. So that's kind of something I've had to adjust in my style of working in this book, which is, I mean, it's a good challenge. So I have this page. I did part of this during the live stream that I did spontaneously in January here on the YouTubes. So you can check that out there. Here I made a TV like tracker. I actually recorded this for a video and edited it all up, but for some reason my editing software won't export it. So yeah. But anyway, I just took this canvas page and this watercolor page and made this TV that looks like the TV stickers I have in my Etsy shop, which you can find in the description box below. I already had this piece of paper glued here, so I just kind of built around it. Doesn't really go together, but it doesn't bother me. So here we are to the canvas page. Now the canvas page, I do have to say, is my least favorite out of all of them. When you apply any type of wet stuff to the canvas, it shrinks. And I forgot that when I was making this page. So I already collaged some stuff on the back here. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's all like warped and wrinkled now because when I got paint on this side, it made it shrink. So just something to note as I'm working through the journal. The paint also bled through, not a huge deal. But yeah, I'm just, again, slowly building on this page. This is just kind of how I work. I go back and forth and add little bits here and there. Like these, I have no idea what I'm going to do with these. I will probably end up like writing a quote over them or something, but I was just playing with the scraps in my bin and cut them up and glued them in like that. So that's that. So then I liked the January intro page that I created so much. I mean, it's not really an intro page because it's things from all during the month, but this is the one that I started for February. I had made this tag as the February calendar printable over on Patreon, so I stuck that in there, and then this is the calendar that I made out of it. Some chocolate bar wrapper, random die cuts, tea tags. So that's kind of how that's looking. This was another canvas page, and I wasn't ready for one yet, so I just glued this tag in here. I did this tag for the Take 5 Art Challenge for this month, which you can find. I'll put a link or a card to that so you can see that. But I just glued that on, cut the page down, and here we are, you know. So that was that. I didn't want to mess with any wet media. I glued this stuff on here, so what I did was I went through my words and I found this past, present, future that I had torn out and some other random quotes, and I decided to make kind of like a page for prompts. I'm not done with it yet. I'm going to watercolor over this here and here, and hopefully write on it and answer those prompts. But these are just some magazine clippings that I had saved in my stash. So yeah, that's how that page is looking, which brings us to the page we just worked on. And I've just put other things in here. This was like extra color that I had from something. I glued this in here at some point. I think this was like my break the journal exercise that I did. But yeah, that's kind of how it's going so far. So to wrap up my thoughts on it, I'm really enjoying this project. It's pushing me to literally journal in ways that I wouldn't normally, because I can't do like a billion tip-ins, so it's really forcing me to explore other avenues. I'm loving the huge like canvas of pages to do things on, because I don't do like a page to a particular spread. I work like piecemeal and totally random back and forth. It really is a fun format to do that in. I'm glad that I chose to do that. At some points during the past month, I have been like, oh my god, what have I done? I kind of want to go back, but I'm glad that I'm pushing through and experimenting and making it, you know, my own. And I'm trying to incorporate more of my stash of supplies, like all of the die cuts that I have, and scrap papers and things. So yeah, really enjoying this. Excited to see how this goes along. It already is getting pretty bulky, and I'm not even done the first signature yet. This is the first signature. I still have several pages, but we're just gonna keep on going. This doesn't go anywhere with me, so it's not really a huge deal. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this little like journal with me and kind of updates on where my journal is going. Let me know how your journal is going for you this year. Are you liking what you chose? Have you already switched? Have you not even started? Let me know all the dirty details down in the comments below. Thank you so much to my patrons for sponsoring today's video. Their support helps me to continue to post videos for you guys here on YouTube, so they are rock stars. You are rock stars for being here. Thank you for watching, because otherwise there wouldn't be a point. If you are interested in my Patreon, it's linked below. Usually I don't kind of say that. If you're interested, you'll find it, but I have restructured the tiers and made some new offerings this time around. Several of you had requested some type of spiritual tier from me, so I have added that. So if that was your thing, go ahead over on Patreon and check out the new tiers and offerings and things. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye!